Hello, and welcome to the second in the series of videos on how to use the Solibooks client and office accounting system. In the last video we created the client record R12/1, and in this video I'm going to post some client monies onto that account, and we'll do an enquiry to see those funds appear on the ledger. So the first thing I'll do is select financial and accounts posting, and as you can see we can enter the posting date, who it was posted by, and we can drop it down here and choose the transaction type. Now this is money coming into the client, so we'll do a client receipts and say OK. Now the system's batch driven, so the idea is that you would collect all your client receipts for the day and you'd use the pay and in book number as the reference for this batch. Now I know the client is Rogers, but I can't remember the reference number, so if I type Rogers in and press the tab key and select Rogers from the list, and as you can see R12 is at the top of the list, and I select matter number 1. Now the pay and in book reference goes here, the payee, and the amount, and in this case the client's paying in £50,000 on account. Now I would proceed in a normal day to carry on filling up this batch with all the client receipts that I've had for that day. When I've finished, I take the cursor to the bottom of the screen and enter the total for this batch. Now in this case it's simply £50,000. And as you can see the two amounts match, so I can click the post button, and that's now going off and that's posting that batch for me. I can cancel this now, and we can now do a client enquiry on file R12/1 to see that transaction go onto the system. So if I click on enquiry at the top of the screen, this brings up the client enquiry screen, and I can put the reference in R12/1 and press the tab key. So this has brought up the client record for me. Now as you can see, when we created the file I talked about the client reminder field, and that's showing here. So any reminder that you put onto a file will appear in this position here, and it will be highlighted so that you can see that you've put a reminder on that file. Underneath that we've got all the relevant balances on this file, and as you can see we've got the £50,000 on client, and at the top it's showing us the fee earner and the category for this file. And we've got a series of tabs here. The first one is the client details tab, and as you can see this is showing us the client's name and address, together with any numbers for deeds, securities, etc. On the left hand side I can select to view just live files, which is the default. I can put the dot in the second option, which will just enquire on archive files, or I can put the dot in here and enquire on both. You will also see at the bottom of the screen a list of all the matters for this particular client. If I click on Office and Client, we can see all the Office and Client transactions, and as you can see there is the one that we've just posted. Now this was obviously receipt, and receipts are all grouped together so that one amount goes onto the bank account. Now there may be occasions where you want to see what else was posted on a particular batch. If I right click on this transaction and choose View Backing Sheet, it will then bring up all the entries that were posted together with that batch, and you'll see them all listed here. Now this is a PDF file, and in the latest version of Adobe Reader you've got the option to print these or you can email them, and we use this for all the reports on the system. If I click on the cross to close that down, as well as the Office and Client, we can also post disbursements, deposit and time transactions and see them all on here. Thank you, and we'll do some more postings on the next short video.